pick heads or tails?
This is a subject.
Okay, I'll pick heads
Okay.
for this
I'm guessing.
debate.
Okay, so what possible fucking justification could you have for picking heads?
Because most people are going to try and be contrarians and pick tails. Even though everybody throughout their body wants to pick heads. Everybody wants to pick heads. But the only people who pick tails are people who are just contrarians. It's a fact.
Okay. Granted. But I feel like good justification for picking tails and not heads. Okay, so when you pick heads is the automatic choice for like a lot of people. It's like, yeah, of course, heads. It's the one that most people like. Although it's a 50-50 chance, most people assume it's going to land on heads. But it's just an automatic assumption. Tails, it seems like there's only like a 1/3 chance it's ever going to land on tails. But I would say that gunning for like that 1/3 chance, I feel like every time through the prize of like the universe more likely to happen, just because like life is constantly going to like kick you in the balls.
I think the fact that you're gonna come across more contrarians means you should pick heads because it is the contrarian pick to what is most people are gonna pick, even though everybody automatically wants to pick tails. That's why everybody picks rock in fucking rock, paper, scissors. Everybody wants to pick rock, but now people are starting to pick paper because they know everybody's going to pick rock. You see? Okay. So I still will play rock knowing that, oh shit. Never mind. Doesn't work for rock, paper, scissors. It makes me lose every time. Fuck, never mind.
I want to cut in here. I was going to say that because like it doesn't really work the same because there's only two choices. And I was saying that noted that people are contrarian, that like there's a lot of contrarians that pick tails. Wouldn't the right decision is to also pick tails before them so that you can like slap them in the face, like get one over on these fucking annoying ass contrarians.
I don't know if you're more likely to win if you pick tails, but I know people will feel more satisfied with themselves. They'll feel better at the end of the day. They'll be able to kiss their wife at night, knowing they picked the right choice.
Well, hold on a second. But okay, a life is a series of battles, is it not? Okay, life is a series of battles.
And this is a battle you can win, because you know what you want on the inside. You don't have to be a contrarian anymore. You don't have to, because being not unique is the unique route to go.
Even if you lose, you can win, okay? Because you can pick tails. They'll feel bad because they didn't pick tails. They might feel good at the end because it did actually end up landing on heads, but there's still actually only a 50-50 chance of landing on heads or tails. So if you take the one that they actually wanted to pick, because there's this new trend of contrarians who pick tails, and it lands on tails and you win, that's a double win.
Your argument relies on the fact that you would like screwing over somebody else. My argument relies on that you just want to please yourself.
Yeah. Okay, but what, is there anything wrong with that? Is there do you have any moral philosophy?
I think morally you should recognize your motivations and recognize that everybody who picks tails has a motivation to be contrary to what everybody wants to pick, heads. That's why anybody who wants to not be the Red Ranger in Power Rangers is literally just a contrarian, because everybody wants to be the fucking Red Ranger.
Because the Green Rangers would be I feel like a lot of people's pick.
Yeah, if you pick the Green Ranger or that weird Ranger, you just want to be the Red Ranger, but don't want people to know you want to be the Red Ranger. It's true. And it's the same thing with picking tails. So I think philosophically, it's more moral to recognize your motivations and pick heads.
Okay, so you're saying that okay, we start out with the assumption everyone wants to pick heads. Tails people are just contrarians, and that is true. And you're saying that it's more true to your true self to pick heads. But I would say, I feel like it's actually more true to me to want to win, and I want to win, which means I'm going to go for tails, and I'm going to try and get these little battles. I'm trying to win all these little battles against people. I'm going to try and screw people.
If your life is focused on winning, then you're going to be disappointed 50% of the time on heads or tails. So So you should be more focused on being happy with the right choice, and that is heads. People will be 100% happier if they just admit they want to pick heads. Then you're not doing any of this like weird bullshit.
Hold on a second. If you lose on tails, since everyone assumes that heads was gonna win, it's not as big of a deal when you lose. So it's like, oh, it landed on heads.
Nobody assumes heads is gonna win. They just know they want to pick heads. When people pick heads or tails, they're not picking what they think they're gonna win. They're picking what they think they want to win.
Okay.
It's
well,
more. It's less strategy, more trying to please your own stance.
See, I don't really view it that way. I view that like when people like people want to pick heads because they think it's gonna win. So if you pick tails and it loses, it's not that like big of a deal because people like assumed you were gonna lose from the outset.
I think if you pick tails, you're just a little liar. You're just a little liar. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to your country. You're lying to everybody around you.
That's slander. You need to stop.
No, slander's allowed. Okay, if you pick tails, you're a little baby. You're a little tiny baby, and you suck. Okay.
Fair.
It's the same thing with Power Rangers. It's the same thing with whatever I had, rock paper scissors. You'll feel better if you pick what you really want to pick. So pick rock, pick heads, pick Red Ranger.
I think crap. I don't know how I feel about this because it's like I assume I want to. Okay, yes, I'm a contrarian, so I'm going to pick tails. So I guess you could say I'm
also a contrarian, but the evidence of this is I felt a lot better admitting that I just want to pick heads.
That is true.
And guess what? Either that or contrarian. Now that most people are contrary to heads, pick heads still if you're a contrarian. Even if you can't get over like, oh, I don't want to pick my natural pick. I don't want to pick what everybody picks. Everybody picks tails now because they're all contrarians.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like you won this debate. I can't even.
Virtual handshake. You concede.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. 1 point. Okay. Well, I guess now we can go back.
Damn, I got fucking